TUI Marmaris'te sektör temsilcileriyle buluştu. Dünyanın en önemli tur operatörlerinden firmalarından biri olan TUI, Marmaris'te düzenlediği toplantıda sektör temsilcileriyle bir araya geldi. Toplantıya katılan Başkan Mehmet Oktay da, Marmaris'e duyulan ilginin hiç azalmaması hepimizi mutlu ediyor, dedi. Dünyanın en önemli tur operatörlerinden firmalarından biri olan TUI, Marmaris'te düzenlediği toplantıda sektör temsilcileriyle bir araya geldi. TUI'nin üst düzey yöneticilerinin ev sahipliği yaptığı toplantıya Marmaris Belediye Başkanı Mehmet Oktay da katıldı. Ege Bölgesi'nden otelciler ve seyahat acenteleri yetkililerinin hazır bulunduğu toplantıda ürün ve satın alma grup direktörü Helen Karen, piyasalar ve havayolları üst yöneticisi David Burling, Merkez Bölge üst yöneticisi Stefan Baumert, Kuzey Bölge üst yöneticisi Andrew Flintham, Hollanda Genel Müdürü Arjan Kers sunum yaptı. Bu sezon 2019'u geçecek. TUI Grup, faaliyet gösteren Avrupa'nın en büyük turizm işletmesi olduğu belirtilen toplantıda 2023 sezonu için 14 kaynak pazardan ülkeye seyahat eden 2,2 milyondan fazla misafir olacağı 2019'a kıyasla %44'lük bir artışa ulaştığı ve 2024 yılında da büyümenin %19 daha olması beklendiği kaydedildi. Toplantıya Türkiye Otelciler Federasyonu Başkan Yardımcısı Bülent Bülbüloğlu, GETOB Başkanı Mustafa Deliveli, TÜRSAB Marmaris temsilcisi Suat Esin ve çok sayıda sektör temsilcisi katıldı. Marmaris'e ilgi mutlu ediyor. TUI'nin yaptığı toplantının Marmaris için çok önemli olduğunu dile getiren Marmaris Belediye Başkanı Mehmet Oktay ise, dünyanın en önemli turizm destinasyonları arasında yer alan Marmaris'imiz, yaşanan tüm olumsuzluklara rağmen sektörün gözdesi olmaya devam ediyor.
Welcome to TUI's partner update here in Marmaris. For those of you that I haven't met before, my name is Helen Karen and I'm the Product and Purchasing Director for all of the TUI group. That's the 14 source markets that we are going to be representing and talking about here this evening. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, for also joining us here this evening. It's a privilege for us all to be here in Marmaris. It's a destination that really is core to TUI's programme here in the Dalaman area and absolutely pivotal to what we do. We'll be speaking, and then my regional colleagues, Stefan and Ariane from the Western region, will be sharing their insights that are situated here in Marmaris. I have my colleagues Mark from Product.
As always, the hospitality is great. We always like coming here. In fact, I came last July for my holiday of the TUI group, and that I run the Markets and Airlines division, which is 14 different markets and 27 million customers. Now, that makes us 3 times bigger than any of the other tour operator groups in Europe. We're not just about tour operating. We have 5 airlines with more than 100 aircraft. We own 400 hotels, including quite a lot in Turkey, in this area. Most of the 50 years of our company, being the biggest, was fantastic. However, fortunately, our lenders, the banks, our governments fully supported us. They had a lot of faith in the business. The business had never lost money. They recognised it was a strong business, and so we got a lot of support through the pandemic. And we often say in the UK that sometimes things come in threes. Well, the pandemic was the second thing, because the year before, in 2019, we'd had a bit of a challenging time with the new 737 MAX aircraft, so we went into the pandemic with that difficulty. And obviously, as you all know, when we came out of the pandemic, we went into the Ukrainian war, and that obviously also had a big impact, particularly on exchange rates, the cost of fuel, the cost of food. So 3 sort of big events sort of have hit the business. It's a huge step to making us a solid business with a strong balance sheet, strong capital structure. Only one of our biggest destinations, but I think of the big destinations we've got, Turkey is the one that, at the moment and for the past... TUI's been in Turkey for over 30 years. I know that because I first came here with TUI 33 years ago. And when I was a sort of product manager, I used to drive from one side of Turkey to the other in an old Fiat car and visiting all the products. And it's fascinating to be back in Marmaris today because I think I first came here back in 1991 when it was a lot smaller, and been here many times since. So, and I remember a long time ago realising that I didn't realise how big a country it was, when I think to this day the longest drive I've ever done in my life was from Bodrum to Alanya, way back in 1992, and I think I thought it would take me 7 hours, and it took about 15. But I think it's that was a love affair with me with the country. I mean, I love the country, which is why I've been so much. But it is so important to TUI. We sent 2.2 million guests this year, but that in the Dalaman region alone, Dalaman Airport, over 500,000, and that is a 52% increase over 2019, which is an incredible growth rate. And in Turkey overall, it's nearly 50% compared to 2019, so amazing figures. We've got over 600 directly contracted hotels in Turkey, and 60% of those are used by multiple markets. Visit Turkey, calling at 8 different ports across Turkey. And often when I come to these events, when I was here a year ago, I had people surrounding me saying, years ago you used to do a home port of Turkey, cruising in Turkey. Why don't you do that again? But I'm very pleased to say we did listen to you, and next year we are home porting in this region, in Turkey. And that will bring 40,000 customers will come on that cruise ship from the UK, and customers will be arriving from 16 different airports in the UK to meet that cruise ship. So you can really see the growth. And also, we also have, and this is very important,
focus purely on fast, individual and instant connection.
It took me a while, but in Germany we say better late than never. I think it translates a bit into English as well. We tend to call them GASP, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Poland. And you can see that we have made a big leap compared to pre-pandemic figures. So we come from 700,000, and this year we will reach 1.1 million, which is a milestone for us. Having cracked the million, I think, maybe already, not quite last year, but we tried to, but this year we will definitely crack the million. Great products here in the Marmaris region, and I'm convinced there will be opportunities for us. From these source markets come to Turkey, Switzerland a bit less, Austria a bit more, but an average 15, and in Poland it's even 30%. Number 1 position in terms of market share from the German tour operators as well, which makes us happy and a bit proud, and shows that we're obviously working on the right path. Website, and this year we want to take it even further to 1.5. So that is with more budget than ever to drive people to our stores and to our website. So this year, for instance, we increased it by 20%. Each package holiday, which we are very known for in all of our markets, but we also want to become better in tours, in car rental, and so on. And why is that? You can argue you want rates, but you still have to log on and type it in manually. So the next step, the next evolution step.
It's starting now. I'm certainly a lot more optimistic than my hair going back to the colour it was before, but I'm absolutely sure that we will get back to the levels. So this year, we're forecasting a 62% increase. up to 800,000, and then even more growth again, another 25% growth on top of that as we go forwards to being over 1 million passengers from the northern region. So when we look at the UK, I guess you could say how big is the ambition that we've got, and I think what would be clear in saying is it is pretty big. So a couple of weeks ago we announced, and this is for summer 24, across our entire programme, but we announced 1.1 million more flights for summer 24. That's on top of what we'd already put on sale. So that was all incremental, of which 1/4 of them, so 25%, will be coming to Turkey, making it our biggest ever summer operation.
You visit all the hotels here, it's about hospitality. And I always, when I come to Turkey, if it's this area or the Antalya area, I really feel this warm welcome. And it took us much more time in 22 to lift it up, especially in the Netherlands, because in the Netherlands the measures of COVID were lifted up by the government last year, only in February, March. So we had a much more shorter selling season, but I think we took a really good last minute season and could bring a lot of clients. Between brackets, we expect that for the summer we don't have to reduce any capacity and that we still can have a strong operation out of Schiphol and Brussels, which are the main airports for Holland and Belgium. But we also are very strong, especially in Belgium, in the regional airports, and also in Holland we're going to start to operate from the regional airports like Eindhoven, Rotterdam, and even from the north in the Netherlands, Groningen, but also, let's say, one of the airports in between both countries, Antwerpen. Our traffic to our websites. And as you can see, for example, in the Netherlands, you always have to be very proactive, so also help us this summer to get the last lines to Turkey. Thank you very much.
Now, TUI has always been a leading force and driven sustainability for as long as I can remember. But just recently, we've introduced our new sustainability agenda and a strategy that will take us forward to 2050.
An airline fleet, driving sustainability at TUI hotels and resorts, creating excursions with sustainability at their heart, removing single-use plastic items.
Across the tourism industry, and we want to make sure that we have a business model that will take our business forward for generations to come. A project there to understand how we be in Berlin. We hosted a ceremony for the top 100, and I'd like to congratulate you all. Quality is really so important. So the best hotel that was nominated by our customers in Belgium. We'd like to thank you for that continued cooperation. Our partnership is valued, and we say this from the bottom of our hearts. A massive thank you. And now I'd like to all invite you to join us for some drinks and some hospitality. Our guides will show you the way. A massive thank you, and if you've got any questions, we'll be around for the rest of the evening and try and answer them for you. Thank you very much. Our TUI Blue team and our TUI News